I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Two races. What?
Go. You're good.
Oh. Races left in the push for the playoffs of the CharlieCar Championship. We're here for race 6 of 11 on the hardwood tonight at the Hardwood MOTORDROME. It's Keelan Belsha with my good buddy Charlie Byer as we get ready for the 6th race of the season. Charlie, how are you doing tonight?
Keelan, I'm doing amazing. And for those of you in the audience that were expecting a race at North Wilkesboro today, unfortunately, that track it's pretty old and was not fit for our CharlieCar cars. So we had to make a switch to a different racing surface. But some say it's a bit more classic than North Wilkesboro. We're on the Hardwood MOTORDROME. This track has never been seen before in the series, in league history, and we're up for a new frontier. So Keelan, I'm doing well today, thank you, and I'm in for we're going to be in for an exciting one today.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one here on the hardwood. Like you said, we've never raced on a track quite like this, and these drivers, they have had zero practice, zero experience on what the slick hardwood will be like, and kind of like when you're a kid, you're in your socks, you're sliding around on the hardwood. That's kind of what I feel like these tires are going to be like today. We'll see how the grip builds up and how these cars race around the track today. A couple NFL cars on our front row as we get ready to this thing to the green. Only 2 races left till the playoffs, Charlie, and it's a tight battle.
Yeah, it is a tight battle up at the top. Ryan DaCosta is your points leader, and he's got himself a pretty sizable points lead. He got a handful of top fives, more than anyone in the season so far, and he leads the points by over 10. So he's got a 10-point gap. He's pretty comfortable with 2 of these races left. But from about 8th to 9th in points, it's only separated by 3. So this is a tightly knit battle that these guys are going to be facing.
Yeah, the last spot currently in the playoffs, Jack DeAndrea in the 28 machine sits with 93 points. Mason Byer, Stratus DePaye tied right behind him at 89 points back. So it's going to be a push for that playoff spot as the pace car takes the trip down pit road. As we come to take the green flag on the hardwood, we are underway in CharlieCar race number 6.
Oh my goodness. There we got some race car noises. So Zane Warkel led the field to the green flag. He's got a lead going into turns 3 and 4. Shane DiMantova is going to slide up himself to second place ahead of Nate Grendy's, and Zane Warkel leads lap number 1.
Zane Warkel recently getting some experience on the iRacing side of things, Charlie. Recently started his career, got his first win last night on that service, and coming out today on the hardwood in CharlieCar looking to get his first win of the season as the battle is heating up to the second position. Nate Grendy's clears Shane DiMantova. We'll see if he can maintain that spot as they have been trading that second position a little bit. Amber Voigt sits back there in 4th with the 12 of Mike Byer making a move for the top 5, passing Emma Grendy's.
Take a look back deeper into your top 10 here. Eclipse DePaye currently sitting outside of the playoffs. Was in the playoffs for a majority of the races this season, but unfortunately fell out. She's looking for a lot of points today to get herself back in. Haley's sitting inside the top 10 pretty comfortably, and Reese Kupski, a driver who needs as many points as he can, along with Alias Williams, Lars Dierks. All these drivers behind him are going to need as much as they can get this race.
A big group of cars back here that are sitting outside of the top 10 in points. These guys all on top of each other from the second position on back. That's the 8 car of Nate Grendy's trying to hold off Shane DiMantova, who takes a look to the inside to take that spot. Shane, not a great season for him as he sits 27th in the standings. Has finished this year a 4th, was last week at the Chili Bowl. He tries to get some good runs thrown together here, starting at the Hardwood MOTORDROME. Wait in the 13 is past Shane. Now Mike Byer looking to make a move on the 20.
Yeah, and looking back here, really in this top 10, I see a lot of drivers who need a lot of points. Our first driver who's really secured inside the playoffs is that number 8 of Nate Grendy, currently sitting in second. But looking back, the next driver is actually all the way back to Keelan Belsha in that number 18, currently running outside of the top 10. So the drivers that need a lot of points this weekend are in a position to get them. I don't see a lot of playoff drivers up there. So it's an opportunity that they're taking. Go ahead.
And not a lot. When you look at this top 10, Zane Warkel, he's sitting 14th in the points. Amber Voigt in third, she's 15th. The 20th, Shandy Mantovia, 27th. Mike Byer, all the way back in, where is he? Mike Byer. He's 21st.
Up there.
So, yeah, a lot of guys looking for good points today. And like Reese Kupski, a guy who's always been consistent in this series, had that motor blowout at Phoenix, and he's trying to recover as we might get a battle for the lead here.
Zane Warkel trying to make up from a Dolphins loss last night to the Buffalo Bills. He's looking to bring that number 10 Dolphins. He's running his rush livery. He's got 3 liveries. He's got a home, away, and a rush livery with his sponsorship from the Miami Dolphins. He's running that today, hoping for a bit of extra luck. He's getting it so far. He's led 10 laps of this 75-lap race. This race is going to go by pretty quick, Keelan. It's only 75 laps. I believe the pit stop's going to happen towards the end of this race. Or who knows what kind of chaos that's going to unravel. But yeah, we're already 10 laps in just a few minutes. So it's going to go by quick. So Zane doesn't have to keep this lead for long.
Yeah, these guys really taken to the hardwood pretty well to this point, I would say. They've been getting pretty close to each other, almost making contact. And I think that the pavement, or if you can even call it pavement, the track surface we're on today, it's going to make passing hard to come by. But when it does come by, it'll give us some good racing.
I'm seeing a lot of single file racing going on so far. I think that might be a characteristic of the hardwood racing surface. It's so slick. You know, got rubber tires on wood is not the best combination. So I wonder if these guys are trying to settle in a little bit, because if you kind of get a little bit too far out of the racing surface into the really slick wood, I think that can cause a lot of trouble. So we'll see how this racing line develops. But so far, I think it's a good strategy to stay in line and kind of ride it out where you're at if you're up front.
And you can kind of see the edge of where the line is as rubber's getting laid down on the hardwood. There's like a lane enough for a car as Warkel kind of sneaks over it and just straddles it right there, and that's the line you want to run. I don't think that top is going to be preferred at any time today, and just because of all the banking as well, it just makes the turns so long and the heavy banking. I think that bottom's just going to be the way to go. It's going to be hard to get that top to go, but if you can get under somebody, force somebody to take that top, I think that's going to open up the door for a pretty easy pass, as Amber Voigt has been working on Nate Grundy's in the 8 car for quite a while now.
We'll take a look back and see kind of where these guys are running. This is creeping towards the edge of the top 5. Eclipse DePaye is in the 5th spot. Emma Grandy is currently 6th. Mike Byer all the way back to Lars Dierks is your top 10. Joseph Goder currently sitting outside. JJ Hill currently in the playoffs is looking for some points to kind of build that gap to the cutoff line come next week. We have Ryan DeCosta, your points leader, currently sitting inside the top 20 pretty comfortably. We got Keelan Belsha, Randy Eggers, and last week's winner, Trip Belsha.
Trip got the win last week, looking to make a push for the playoffs as he sits 12th in the points right now. Another driver in a pretty similar situation as him is the Eclipse DePaye machine up there, currently in the 5th position, and she's just outside of the playoff leaderboard right now, so a good top 5 run could get her in there. One race to go after today, as Amber Voigt looks under Nate Grundy, looking to make that bottom work. Grundy's going to try to fight back. He's not going to do it. That also opens up the door for Shandy Mantova in the 20 to make a move, but Grundy's gets enough of a run on the outside to maintain the 3rd position, as Amber Voigt, somebody who has had a pretty average season, and she sits right in the middle of the pack in 15th in points. Got some work to do. Now trying to run down that race leader in the 10 machine.
Yeah, and she's making up a lot of ground pretty quickly, Amber Voigt is. And these are two drivers who know each other pretty well in real life. Obviously meeting in high school and being kind of in the Illinois section of drivers. So they know each other pretty well, and I wonder how much respect they're going to race each other with them both being in a situation where they need to get as much points, and they need this race win badly. They want to make their push for the championship.
They currently tied in points, actually, these two, in 14th and 15th. So they have mirrored each other pretty well this season, and doing it so far today as they sit 1-2. And once you get that pass on the driver in front of you, it kind of gets a little bit quieter, and you can just kind of tick off laps and try to get the next person in front, as Nate Grundy is going to try and get that second spot back. One thing I was going to ask you, Charlie, is on a really rough asphalt surface, that tire wear, it certainly becomes a factor. What about on the hardwood? Do you think that's worse or better than asphalt? Do you think tire wear is going to be huge? Do you think short pitting is a viable strategy towards the end of this thing?
Well, Keelan, I think that, racing on a hardwood surface, it's loose either way. And these guys are battling the conditions of this racetrack. They're going to be battling them all race long, really, because this is not a hooked up racetrack at all. You're racing on wood. Wood is slick on rubber. So these guys are already facing a lot of adverse tire conditions. So I'd say, why not take the short pitch strategy? It could work out for you. Maybe split this race in half, or, we're going to see what these crew chiefs are going to cook up here.
It's going to be a interesting call to make, as we can definitely tell the rubber is hammering in on this asphalt as Amber Voigt tries to make another look under Warkel. Got the nose under there, but couldn't get the pass. That's going to open up the door for Nate Grundy's an 8 car to make a move for third. You can throw the top 5 under a blanket right now, Charlie. This is, they're all over each other.
I believe Emma Grundy's made a pass into the top 5. I believe she was sitting behind Eclipse de Paille. Now she's sitting herself into the top 5, maybe making a move that we didn't see. Here comes Amber Voigt looking for the race lead under Zane Warkel, as well as Shane T. Mantova looking under Nate Grundy's. Doesn't seem like anything's going to come out of it, though.
Yes, Amber Voigt has got there, but she just can't get the run to make the pass to this point in the race. She is all over Zane and probably feels like she has the faster car right now, as Zane is averaging 171 miles per hour each lap. Wonder if Voigt's a little bit faster when she falls off of him a little bit, but when she gets there, she's just a little bit slower. Can't make the move in that Red Lobster Ford Mustang.
I just think it's difficult for these guys to step out of line because, racing on this hardwood, there's really only one line that you're able to take that's like guaranteed to be the fastest. So once these guys step out of line, it makes you wonder if they're kind of trying to settle down and race conservatively. But if they step out of line, we see what happens. They lose a lot of momentum. So I wonder if these guys in the top 5 are just focusing on settling down, maybe trying to get to a pit stop before they race hard.
Yeah, I think that driver in second, Amber Voigt, she's probably going to hold that second spot, but if she's stuck here by the time the pit window opens, I wouldn't be surprised to see her take a short pitting strategy and see if that gets her to jump around Warkel. I think the big moves in this race, it's going to be coming down on the pit stops. The pit stops, pit road, that's where you're going to make up the most time today, as it's just the opportunity there on the racetrack, but it's not there, if you know what I'm saying. You can get there, but it's going to be tough to make a pass. As Voigt shoves Warkel out of the way, and to the inside goes Amber Voigt. She got tired of riding right behind him, and she's going to take a look to the inside. Warkel fighting tough on the outside.
See if she can grab it here. Not able to clear him down the front straightaway. Zane leads lap number 32, trying to make another attempt into turns 1 and 2. These guys are side by side for the race lead.
This is going to allow everybody on back to get there. You're slower when you're side by side. That's going to see Nate Grundy's pull right up to the back of the 13, as we have great side-by-side racing here at the Hardwood Motordrome. Amber Voigt all over Zane Warkel. Nate Grundy's all over her. Ford versus Ford for the race lead here.
Looks like Nate is trying to help out Amber Voigt the best they can. This is 3 Fords up in the top 3. See if Amber's going to clear him. It looks like she's going to clear Zane Warkel, and leading coming to lap number 25, new race leader, number 13, Amber Voigt.
Amber Voigt, I believe, leading her first laps all season that I can remember. Good to see that 13 car up front. Warkel did get around Grundy's and maintain that second position back there. Shane D. Mantova sits in fourth. Emma Grundy's rounds out the top 5. But look at that telemetry up top. Top 9. All within a second. Top 7 now.
I do think that side-by-side battle that we just saw for first place helped that out a lot, because this is an entire line of cars all lined up. Look at that. I mean, it's turned into a big old train here. I don't see a lot of passes behind them. I believe I just saw either Keelan Belshaw or Ryan DeCosta try to make a move on each other. We got to move up for second place. Nate Grendy's going to look to the inside of Zane Workel. I don't know if this is because the start of Zane Workel's kind of downfall and kind of fumbling down the rankings here. But he's certainly under pressure from that number 8 for second place.
This is kind of racing similar to a super speedway we see with all these trains as Mantova gets shoved out of line right there. Emma Grendy's to his inside. Starting to make me wonder if it's a fuel issue to be up front. Just looks like a lot of throttle time on the bottom of the racetrack. But maybe it was a strategy move for Workel to drop out of the race lead, save a bit of fuel. As Mantova will maintain that 4th position over Emma Grendy's in the Hello Kitty machine.
Take a look back. I just saw Mike Byer shoot to the inside of Eclipse de Paille there. Alex Williams, a driver who has had very little and almost no luck this entire season, running pretty solidly inside of the top 10, hoping to climb up a little bit more. But Eclipse de Paille...
Alex Williams and Eli Comerford are the only 2 drivers below Charlie Byer, and Charlie Byer missed a race this year, so that just goes to show you how pitiful their luck has been this season. Don't even know where Eli is, so it's just not picking up here. Alex, though, not a great season for him either. Three races out of the 5 this season. He's been one of the final 4 cars finishing the race. In the Chili Bowl, he missed the A-main. That was a big points opportunity for him. His only real highlight this season was a 7th place run at Phoenix. So yeah, he's really trying to get it together here. Last 2 races, really got to throw everything you can at it, and not looking good for his playoff hopes.
Alex, a driver who definitely talks the talk, but with the way things are going this season, he definitely hasn't walked the walk. Alex Williams, we're talking about at least. Yeah, we're actually just over halfway through this race. This green flag session, green flag running has only taken about 15 minutes, so this is going to be a quick one. But we are expecting pit stops. We have our pit reporter Alex Schumacher in the booth. Alex, what are you seeing on the racetrack? What do you like? What kind of strategies are you hoping for?
Well, Charlie, what I've been seeing in single file race, and what that's telling me is that everyone second on back is saving fuel. They're trying to maximize this fuel run as much as possible. This is going to be a one-stop race. I don't even think we're going to need a change of tires here. Every single driver here should be looking for right sides maybe, full tank of gas, and maybe a wedge adjustment. Some drivers are complaining about the bumps entering 3 and 4. That's why they're drifting up the track. Some drivers have been handling it really well. Some drivers say that their car is uncontrollably loose. It's just been a really up and down day. It's really calm so far. I definitely expect to see more 2-wide racing here after we get situated with pit stops. We get to crunch time here. I don't know when we're coming in. We might have a few more laps. Like I said, I think this field has been saving as long as they could to maximize this fuel run, to maximize time on track, to not be undercut by anyone else.
Great observation there, Alex. And we're going to take a look ahead. We're going to see the gap between first and all the way last. I believe it's about a straightaway and a half. I mean, even these cars in the back, they're at the tail end of this really long, strung out line. You see that. These guys are just riding one big train right now. Currently occupying last is Mushu Grendy's. I think the Grendy's are almost bookending the field here. Nate currently sits in third, and Mushu sits in last. And seeing a lot of Illinois natives up into the top 10 as well, starting with Amber Voigt, Zane Workel, Nate Grendy's, Emma Grendy's, Mike Byer. A lot of guys occupying the lower half of the top 10, and I don't know, this could be a race dominated by Illinois natives again.
Seem to be that way. I've kind of noticed that as the leaders today. They've been Nate Grendy's, Zane Workel, and Amber Voigt. It's been a 3-horse race out of Illinois right there, and Shane Mantova, he's fairly close, an Ohio native, currently residing in Charlotte, North Carolina. In the home of the racing world, you'd think he'd have a little bit better luck, but it has just not been Shane's season, as he is coming off the final LGL Cup Series championship and just hasn't been able to carry that momentum in his Titleist machine this year, but putting together a good run today as he looks to equal his best run of the season, where he got 4th last week at the Chili Bowl, maybe even improve on that today.
Excuse me, as I was just turning on a... Yeah. Actually, this track is a bit of a mystery where it's actually located. Not too sure. So,
Well, Charlie, one thing I could tell you is a good trivia question would be, where is the Heart of Roller Derby? And I would probably go there. Maybe right next door, something like that. Seems like these fans love their hardwood. I assume their basketball courts are just as shiny. This track was freshly waxed, and it was just so beautiful. I know the rubber's getting put down here real fast, but yeah, that's my assumption.
Hard Roller Derby? I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Hardwood Roller Derby? You don't know that?
I don't.
I'll look it up.
I think I'm 100% sure it's a thing. I swear.
Hardwood. I'm assuming I just haven't heard of it, because that's a new term for me.
I'm seeing El Paso, Texas.
There you go. I don't know if Texas has that many
Wyoming.
hills. Oh.
Wyoming. That's
Okay. Wyoming is the biggest roller derby state with 24 leagues per million people, followed by Alaska, North Dakota, and Vermont. So we're somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
roller
I
derby.
like that though. What a great market though. What great fans have come here. You can definitely tell they love their roller derby and like I said, their hardwood. So definitely great from the community. It's great that this track's still here and it's one of a kind.
I don't even know how we got here, to be honest, Charlie. We just kind of showed up and we're here. So
Well, we were supposed to be in North Wilkesboro's in South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia,
one of them.
which
I believe.
the East Coast. But if we're in Wyoming, that was a very fast trip. Thinking we maybe
Beautiful drive though.
very
Yeah,
scenic drive.
the green hills all around. It's just a nice view. In Wyoming.
Packed place here today.
Certainly is. As the top.
Michigan Wolverines put up a field goal.
Oh,
They did a 20-10 game out there. You can see that in the top right of your screen.
yeah.
Hey,
I actually have my TV screen on. I'm just glancing over it every once in a while. I mute
Fair.
myself when I get excited.
Fair. Well, the top 5 has spread themselves out a little bit. Keelan, you mentioned earlier that at the beginning portion of this race, there was the top 5 was spread top 9 was spread under half a second here. But they certainly have spread themselves out a little bit. Amber's got herself a bit of a lead. Nate Granges is coming up behind him. Or coming up behind Zane, and the yellow flag is out.
Cautions! We got incident on the track here. This is gonna change everything. See what's gonna be here. Looks like someone got onto the wall, maybe.
Try to see.
I was about to say, green flag pit stops here under this tricky pit road is gonna be really interesting. I mean, it's unfortunate we didn't get a chance to see it, but caution's out here at last gate.
See what the yellow flag was. I'm assuming it happened. Whoever's at the back of the pack was the cause. Rishu Grandes. That was before the yellow came out. I still see a yellow flag. Middle of the pack, maybe?
Could have been a debris yellow.
Maybe.
Maybe a driver lost a driver lost a tire or something. A tire carcass got flown out there. Who knows? And they may be able to keep it going here.
I've never had a debris yellow in NR, but we'll.
And that's the end of stage 1 here in CharlieCar.
I'm trying to find the cause of this yellow.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Maybe a yellow came out. Yellow flag is out right there. When did it come out? Okay.
I am hearing furious team members over the radio, though.
I have no explanation for this.
Yeah, NASCAR is trying to step in here, trying to figure out what's going on. CharlieCar.
Well, my caution.
NASCAR.
Okay. Well, we did have drivers come
Uh-oh.
down to pit lane. This is Amber Void. A lot of these drivers getting some service done. We'll take a view of the race off of pit road. But
Very tight pit road here. Who's it going to be? Coming up pit road. Looks like 13 maintains the lead.
Emma is able to come out up
Emma,
the fourth.
wow. Great stop from both the drivers.
Was a good stop in the 23. JJ Hill.
This could change things up, and definitely a driver we haven't mentioned all day is Ryan DaCosta. Seems like he might be cooking something up here today. Let's see what we can do.
That's been the name of Ryan's game, is cooking something up. Cooking something up later in the race. That's how he's been able to manufacture his 2 wins this season. I'm very confused over that yellow flag. I don't have my caution mod on right now. So, like the one that gives better yellows than it usually does.
Do you think race control unfortunately deemed pit road entry unsafe, and they needed just a forced yellow to everyone come down and get service potentially?
Not sure, but this certainly is going to shake things up because we're going to restart with just about 10 laps to go.
It's money time.
And these, pace car lights are off, so actually we're going to restart with about 13 laps to go. We're doubling up. Amber Voigt to the inside, Zane Markel to the outside. 4 Illinois natives in the top 4. Emma Grandy's sliding herself up there as well. Pace car's going to come off, and we're going to get back. There they go, off into turn number 1. Zane Warkel is able to take back the race lead. Amber Voigt's going to slot herself back in the 2nd place. Nate Grandy's is looking for that 3rd spot.
And we saw all race long, early in the first 30 laps or so, Amber Voigt in the 13, and Nate Grandy's if he gets sideways. Nate Grandy's, they were all there on Zane Warkel's back bumper for a majority of the early stages of this race, but they could not make a pass.
Oh man, we're seeing
the trend is they're racing tough up here for second.
Racing tough up here. Amber got very loose off of that corner, almost getting into the wall. Alex Williams is now going to put himself into the top 5. First time we've seen him up here all race. He's been sitting there pretty much all race long, but he hasn't been able to gain the ground he needs to make a fight for this race win. He's to the outside of Emma Grandy. He's not going to get there just yet, but Amber Voigt's looking for second.
Haven't seen side-by-side racing.
This track really starting to slick up, it sure feels like, Charlie, with these guys racing hard. As now Amber Voigt's got to put the pedal down, got to reel in Zane Warkel. The 10.5 laps to go, going to be 10 when they get to the line. Not a lot of time left, and Warkel looking at his rearview mirror. This is what he wants to see. He wants to see a little bit of a gap between him and 2nd place. That's what he has right now.
Yeah, it's a pretty good gap. That's a comfortable gap. It's a half a second, and Nate Grandy's isn't done battling Amber Voigt just yet, all the way up to her back bumper. So this is exactly what Zane Warkel, you're right, Keelan, wants to see, is these two battling even more as he tries to pull away.
Warkel, a winner in the LGL Cup Series last year, his rookie year, trying to go back-to-back as far as season wins go here. The first edition of CharlieCar, get that first win would be awesome for Warkel, and in a spot where he has to build as many points as possible to make a playoff push. He's only had 1 top 10 all year and a lot of mid-pack runs. So a victory today would certainly help his case.
Zane Warkel trying to make up for a Dolphins loss yesterday against the Buffalo Bills. Sporting that Miami Dolphins car, he's currently out front and sitting pretty comfortably. He's coming up to 5 laps to go. We'll see if he's going to try to hold off Amber Voigt. He obviously lost that battle with Amber Voigt earlier, handing her the race lead. She took it for quite a long time up until that yellow flag. So we'll see how this develops. He's getting closer and closer, Keelan.
And here comes Voigt, all over the back bumper of Warkel. And we saw this a lot earlier. Voigt was trying to make a move for a good amount of the race in the early stages. Got the lead on, I believe, lap 35 or so. So this is the same position he was in. Here with 6 laps to go. I believe her patience will not be there as much as she goes to the inside.
Gonna make a move going into turn number
Huge
3.
battle.
Amber Voigt in the 13.
They're going to be side by side coming out of turn number 4. Another driver inserting himself into this battle is Alex Williams at number 88. Inching closer to the edge, to the back bumper of Nate Grendy's. He's going to take a look to the inside as Zane Warkel clears Amber Voigt for first place, and he's holding on to it with just 5 laps to go.
Voigt there. Can't get to the inside there. She got to the inside a second ago. Couldn't make the pass, and that just shows you how much of a momentum track this hardwood has been today, and how much momentum you need to build up to make a pass.
To the inside, here we
Take
go.
Another look to the inside.
This is Amber Voigt's chance to take the race lead. She's had a
3
few in
wide
the past.
potentially.
Nate Grendy's is up to second place as well, giving her all the help she needs to get out in front. Amber Voigt takes the race lead, coming to lap number 73 out of 75.
2 races to go till the playoffs. 2 drivers that were just outside the bubble needed points to make it in. They have put together a great run today. As they come to 2 to go, neither one is going to let the other have it easily. Amber Voigt has taken the lead, but Warkel trying not to let her go. But the one thing that Voigt had that Warkel didn't was some help from that 8 car. Needs to hope that 8 car can catch up and help him out.
Letting it run here, build up here, let some air finally hit the front end, see if they can build up a run coming with the 1 to go here. It's going to be all or nothing. The dirty air is just plowing in the corners. I don't know if they're going to have what it takes.
Amber's had a strong car all day long. He was able to take the race lead from Zane Warkel, and now coming to the white flag. 0.3 of a second separate her and Zane Warkel to second place. Down the back straight for the final time, looking to become the first female winner this season.
Amber Voigt in the 13 Red Lobster machine in a race where she needed to make up as many points as possible. Does that here at the Hardwood Motordrome. Amber Voigt is a winner in the CharlieCar Series, the first female winner this season. Coming in 15th in points. This is going to be huge for a shot to make the playoff. First career win for Amber Voigt.
Zane Warkel, who came into this race tied with Zane Warkel, has also got a good chunk of points as well. So these are drivers that you're going to have to watch coming into next week at Chicagoland Speedway, as drivers who are going to fight with everything they can to get in to the playoffs. Okay, then that's going to round out the 6th race of the season. Next race is race 7, the regular season finale. We're going to take a quick look back to your finishing order. So Amber Voigt finishes in first, Zane Warkel second, Nate Grendy third, Alex William, a great run for him, finishes in the 4th position, Emma Grendy's 5th. Shane Diamantova, a good run for him, finishes 6th, Mike Byer 7th, Lars Dierks 8th, JJ Hill, a much needed run to finishes 9th, and Eclipse de Paille rounds out your top 10. Haley finishes 11th, DeCosta 12th, Randy Eggers in the 13th spot, Mike Pruitt 14th, Joseph Goder 15th, Trip Belsha, Reese Kupski, Keelan Belsha, Mason Byer, and Sarah Byer round out your top 20. Charlie Byer finishes in the 21st position, Ryan Bradshaw 22nd, Francisco Bacalhau 23rd, Eli Comerford and Kenneth Bueno positions 24 and 25. Stratus de Paille 26th, Mike Byer, Mushu Grennies, Alex Schumacher, and Jack DeAndrea. 2 drivers actually at the bottom of the grid who have been fighting all season to maintain their playoff spot. This is not the kind of run they needed to go into the regular season finale. Well, guys.
It's exactly the runs that Eclipse de Paille, who is just outside the cutoff, Zane Warkel, obviously Amber Voigt, Emma Grendy's, who is a little bit back there, runs that these people really needed to try and make a spot at the playoffs, and I think the points are going to be really tight going into the final week of the regular season.
Well, guys, it was a quick race. That race only took about 30 to 40 minutes. A quick one at the Hardwood Motordrome. I wasn't sure if we were going to see green flag pickups until we got that mystery yellow flag that I'm still having trouble. I've never seen anything like that, but yeah, that definitely changed up the race, but Amber Voigt was able to hold on to her race lead and take home the race win. But that's going to round out race number 6 out of 11 here. We got one more race next week at Chicagoland Motor Speedway to round out the regular season and decide our playoff contenders. But guys, it was a fun one here. Any last thoughts before we send it off? Keelan.
I'd like to start with first, like by saying, yeah, what a great race. Hard to pass here. This track proved that I think the grip, the dirty air, a lot of things played in the factor here, and you had to have the best setup and the best car to win today. A lot of things going into the final race of the regular season at Chicagoland. It's going to be really, really fun. Looking forward to that one. I think we're going to see a bunch of chaos and hopefully a bunch of great hard racing going in and seeing who's going to be our final 16 drivers racing for a CharlieCar championship. It's going to be a really, really, really great next few weeks as well with our upcoming tracks in the playoffs. So really, really excited for what's going to come, and just what a great race today, and thank you for putting on the show.
Keelan?
I just thought we had a good race today. It was really hard to pass, and it was Amber Voigt, the only driver that I saw make a move for the lead and made it stick late. She had the best car today, started up front, took advantage of it, took the win, and now she's gonna have a shot at the playoffs next week. Last chance to get in.
Yep, and for myself and Keelan Belsha and our pit reporter / commentator Alex Schumacher in the booth, thank you all in the YouTube chat for coming out tonight, supporting the series as usual. We hope to see you guys next week for an exciting regular season finale to see which drivers are going to make a spot in the playoffs. It's going to be close with these guys who are in the playoffs not having great runs and guys who are out having great runs. We're going to see what happens next week, but until then, be safe. If you're living in the upper Midwest, be safe in the snow, and to that I say good night and big balls.
Yeah.